Yeah. Thank you.
I would like to talk about the most marginalized communities in India. Maybe all of you know actually, but I am coming from the same community background and I am working with the same communities. So that's what I would like to enlighten. So I would like to share three things today here. One is the untouchability practices in India, how it is functioning. That is one. One of the most marginalized, most stigmatized practice called scavenging among the community that I would like to show you. The first, I want to talk about the untouchability practice in India. Practice in India have started long back, not today or 50 years, 100 years back. It started from long back. When Manu was invented his history, it's already the hierarchy in Hindu communities. One is Brahmin and Vaishya, Kshatriya, Shudra, and the lowest communities are Panchamas. They are the Panchamas. Panchamas means they are the untouchable communities who are supposed to be in the village, out of the town. They are supposed to work as a scavenger, as a cleaner, as a sweeper. So that community is called the Panchamas. Okay? Panchamas communities there in India we called in South India different name. North India we called the Mang community, Chamar community, Mahar community, like this we will call. And South India we called Madiga, Arundhatiyar, Metar, Vangi. These several issues, several names we will call actually. So they have kept us out from the village, out from the. So the Hindu communities, there are several communities. Hindu communities are practicing untouchability. Untouchability means these communities, untouchable communities, have not entered in their houses, the dominant community houses, and they won't sit and eat together, and they won't take drinking water from the same well, and also the schools, children are sitting separate line. Like this, several, we actually 148 types of untouchability practices are functioning now in India. This is called untouchability actually. Today we can able to see in the school, as I say, that is not functioning now. School children are not sitting outside or separate side, but mentally, physically, the teachers who are there, they have discriminated Dalit children actually. They know who are Dalit children, who are coming from scavenging community children, because the children are going with unclean, without uniform, without books, without bag. So the teachers usually make them to sit one side. Make them to sit one side, and children don't take any concentration on that children, because anyway these children are not doing homework, anyway these children are not reading, writing, they don't know. Because in our community, especially 8th standard, 9th standard, 7th standard, children don't know to identify the English letters or doing mathematics. This is all common actually today also. So that's what teachers have, what they're doing, they will keep them little away, or they put them to sit somewhere in some places. They don't concentrate. That's what in our community there are larger amount of the dropout is there. So if, for example, 100 children will admit for first standard, the 10th standard only 20% or 15% children only get pass. Rest of the children are going to get fail actually. So they are going to drop out. If the boys, if the girls, they will get married in the 14 years, 15 years, 16 years, they will go to their husband house. So this is the thing actually. So that's what generations to generation in our community, what's happened, because there is no education, there is no proper skill, There is no any proper employment options. There the main employment is the one is the landless agricultural laborers, or our own traditional occupation is the tanning the leather, the cow leather and other buffalo leather, the tanning and stitching chapels, repairing old chapels. This is our original occupation actually. But now, last 70, 75 years, 65 years onwards, the people who are migrating to the urban area, semi-urban area, urban area, our people will engaging easily for the sweeping and cleaning the drainage, cleaning the upper community shift. This is called scavenging work. So majority of the people are engaging in such unclean occupation because unclean occupation is available very easily. For that, not need any education or not need any skill. Wherever we see in India, in the metro cities, urban, rural level, who are the sweeper? If you can generally, you can ask which community they are coming from. Definitely, if you ask in Tamil Nadu, they are coming from Arundathir community. If you ask in Andhra, they are coming from Madiga community. If you ask Karnataka, they are Madiga community. If you go and ask in North, definitely they are Valmiki or Mushar community. So this is the general fact actually. On this basis, we actually identify which is the largest and most stigmatized issue in socially. That is called the two occupations are there. One is the manual scavenging, and for women issues, the women are becoming Devdasi system. That is, Devdasi system is one of the most vulnerable system. So they were completing their 14, 15 years. So the family will devoting to the god. So they will be in the temple. They are supposed to work in the temple, and they will use it by another community people, dominant community people, for the sexual abuse. So later they become a commercial sex worker or sex worker. The people anybody can use these girls. So now in North Karnataka and Maharashtra some districts, Andhra some districts, and Tamil Nadu some districts, there are hundreds of women are being as sex workers. They have some children. They are also being without their father. They don't know who is their father. So this is one of the situation. The facing Dalits. Another one is scavenging. This is the most marginalized, most stigmatized, most humanized, undignified practices going on. So we are working on the manual scavenging issue. So I would like to bring you what is the meaning of manual scavenging and what is the situation actually. So before I am going manual scavenging situations, there is a two important quotations which told Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar and Mahatma Gandhi, so long as you do not achieve social liberty, whatever freedom is provided by the law is of no avail to you. And same time, the Mahatma Gandhi also told that I may not born again, but if I happens, I will like to be born into a family of scavengers, so that I may relieve them of the inhuman, unhealthy, and the hateful practice of the carrying night soil. So, what is the meaning of manual scavenging? Manual scavenging is an occupation that calls for the manually removal of the excreta using brooms, small tin plates, and baskets carried on the head from dry toilet without the modern flush out system. It is also involves sweeping, disposal of the dead animals, and leather work. It is form of a forced labor, modern day of the slavery. Manual scavenging is a caste-based occupation for Dalit untouchables in the Indian continent. Within the system, Dalits have been assigned tasks as an occupation which are deemed ritually and polluting by the other caste community. Manual scavenging has been assigned as the traditional occupation of the social section of the scheduled caste, specifically the Madiga community. So we generally the people have a questions about this. Why do people continue to engaging in this occupation? And when other dignified livelihood sources are available, why manual scavenging practiced in towns and cities where other cleaner occupations such survival exist? Why does the practice of manual scavenging continues when there are feasible and viable technological alternatives to dry latrines, dry toilets, one of the drives of the occupation? So the manual scavenging was continuing when the ruled by the emperor, the separate parts, when the Mughals and the other Nizams and in our Karnataka, Mysore Maharaja, Tipu, all these people have ruled that time also. Later, the British have ruled India. So that time also it was continuously practiced. So for that, the first time in Karnataka in 1974, Karnataka government have brought a government order for the abolition of the manual scavenging practice. Government of India, 1993, they brought a legislation. That the legislation name called the Employment of Manual Scavengers and Construction of Dry Latrine Prohibition Act, 1993. This is the one of the important act came in 1993 for the eradication of the system. According to the system, the government of Karnataka, government of any state, government of local bodies, they have not constructed any dry latrines actually. If they have constructed any dry latrine, it is offence actually. And they have not made engaged or they have not assigned any persons to clean the shift. That is offence actually. But unfortunately, this act was not implemented properly because there is no willingness from the politicians, there is no willingness from the bureaucrats. Because it is caste-based occupation, that's why no one have not taken any actions. So, and also in this act, there is a important components is there. Who are going to engage in the manual scavenging, they are also going to penalize, and who are going to assign the manual scavenging job, they are also going to penalize actually. This is two types of punishments are there in the act. Because of that, who the people have engaged in the manual scavenging, they have not brought that issue in the mainstream actually. And also the municipalities and local bodies also not taken any proper action on that. So because of this lack of some policy matter, this act was completely not implemented. 1993 onwards till today, after 24 years, no one have penalized actually so far. So that's why last from the 4 or 5 years, some of the civil societies and movements, we have started demanding in front of the government of India to make an amendment on this act, bring a new act for that. So several roundtable conferences, several workshops, several dialogue with the government of India and Ministry of Social Justice have happened. Later, in 2013, they brought new act that is called the Prohibition of Employment as a Manual Scavenger and their Rehabilitation Act 2013. This is came actually. These two acts also brought under the Article 14 of Indian Constitution, that is called the equality, and Article 16, it is the equal employment opportunity, and Article 21, the human dignity. So all this article under they have brought this act actually. So according to this act, before that, actually, before coming this act, Supreme Court have given a historical judgment actually in 2009. That time they have appointed district collector, they have assigned district collector. The rule district collector is the whole and sole responsibility for the eradication of this practice, but none of the district collector have not taken any proper action on this. And also 2007 International Declaration, International Labour Organization also made a declaration, and they also suggested to Government of India to take appropriate action on the rehabilitation. Actually, if the exist legislate acts will implement properly, the people have to get this following entitlements. That is one, the person who have identified, registered, he should get a photo ID card as a scavenger. After that, one-time cash assistance they will get, that is 42,000 rupees. That is a 6-month minimum wage of the state unskilled employment minimum wage. Actually. Within the 6 months, they have to finalize their self-employment project. So for the self-employment project, if they want training, they will give the training 6 months, 3 months, or 1 year, whatever it is. And the government will going to provide a loan, 1 lakh to 15 lakh rupees, one loan also they are going to provide. And also house patta or construction house, they will be eligible to take, and also the free mental scholarship for the children who are going primary school, they will get day scholarship, and also upper education. They can get the seat, they can get the seat. But unfortunately, it is implemented last 25 years. So the allocation, in spite of the legal framework, is not why does this inhuman practice continuously in this case, the allocation of labor on the basis of caste based is one of the Hindu caste system, and crossing from ones to allocated tasks on other occupations it seems as a breaking ones and distinct role in the society. The caste system, it is not the work that it is considered polluted, but the workers himself or herself. This pollution is not on the view of the physical nature, but divinely distinct, and therefore, once the manual scavenger, the entire structure operates so ensure that person continues in the remain in the occupation. This is the one major thing. Long back it was going to running, because once the manual scavenger is identified as a scavenger, is being nominated as a manual scavenger, people will call him. So, Government Mandate Commission (NHRC) also told that it is the worst violation of the human rights. At the same time, a very few civil society organizations like our Safai Karmachari Watchdog Committee, People's Union for Civil Liberty, and Alternative Law Forum, and other some human rights organizations have engaged to eradicate the system, but still we are not able to gain proper outcomes actually. So this is the some media informations I would like to bring you. There is the ministers who are there in the present ministers, present district collectors, present several officers have came and interact with the manual scavengers in several towns actually. So even though it is evidence actually, ministers have sworn, ministers have spoken, district collector was in front of the minister, everybody are there. It is also fact evidence actually, even though they are not able to make a proper rehabilitation for the scavengers.
Published. When was that news article from? Which year?
2010. This is Kolar. KGR. Mr. Suresh Kumar, who is urban development minister from Bangalore, he visited. He spoken with the 180 manual scavengers. But still now 880 manual scavengers are engaged in manual scavenging. They are supposed to provide a proper rehabilitation, but it is not happening.
Yeah, even after the news report, it's
yeah. That's what the truth, the reality I am going to tell now. This is the reality. This inhuman practice still continues in India after this, even after the 69 years of the independence and 23 years of the legal action passed from Parliament. This is the media reports. Actually, several media have covered all those things. Actually, the manual scavenging still exists in all parts of the Karnataka due to the lack of proper infrastructure and technology. 2009, during the Supreme Court hearing, there was a Supreme Court PIL was registered in 2004 actually. So 2009 during the hearing, Supreme Court have asked all the state governments about the manual scavengers situation. So that time Karnataka also, all the states in India, all the states they have submitted affidavit to the Supreme Court. There is no manual scavengers at all. But the manual scavengers are asking then where we are, what we. In the average scale of the manual scavengers nowadays, our last from 10, 12 years, many women are engaging actually. Because men have had a lot of alcohol consumption, their health is completely bad, and they are not, the people trust on women. The women means they will obey all the order and she also work hard. She can continue like that. They will appointing more women actually now. So almost 82% of the Safai Karmacharis belongs to women actually now. We also see wherever we go in the private bus stand, the airport, wherever we can go, we see the women sweeper. So this is the, it is covered actually national level, state level, media was covered. The night style removing practice is still in existence. Are true that in the 1993 and 94, Karnataka state, along with some civil society organizations, have conducted survey. During that survey, in 1993-94, we identified 14,555 manual scavengers across the urban and rural, and 2002 and 3, 26,004, and 2008, 7 and 8, 40,692 scavengers have identified. Also, 2,800 plus dry latrines, in-central latrines we have identified. But it is the that 2008-9 data. But 2011 census report, Government of India General Census report have brought out the biggest truth that more than 60 lakhs of in-central latrines are there in India. 3,556 statutory towns.
Obalesh, 1 minute on that. So the numbers have increased, right? So do you think that earlier surveys were incomplete, or do you think the practice, I mean, the number of people doing the practice has increased in the last 10 years?
Earlier?
So since 1993 to 2008, the number has increased. So do you think the 1993 survey was incomplete, or do you actually see on the ground that the people who are practicing it has increased over the last 10 years?
No, it is increased over the last year.
It has increased.
So survey was completed actually. We have done survey, Government of India also done survey, some state governments also done survey. People have increased actually. Here, why this number has increased means the local authorities have not taken any proper appropriate action on this actually. That's why it is increased. In 2010 July, there was one town called Saunur in Haveri district. The people of 14 family manual scavengers have protested in front of the municipality office by pouring man excreta on their head. This because the Saunur is the Taluk headquarter actually, the block headquarter. When these 14 families came as a scavenger, that is when Nijamas was there, empire, they brought from Andhra to clean their shits actually. After the developments, independence and all, these people have remained there only in the shed. Actually, the shed was out of the village actually that time. Later, the village was increasing. So, shed, their 14 houses shed become inside the Taluk headquarter. So, now the upper community people wants to remove that 14 sheds from outside the place. Because scavengers, how can we keep inside the village? They want to remove. So, municipality have issued several times notice to vacate this place and go and have a outside class. So these people also demanded we are not going to be outside. This is our own houses. We are here last from 70 years. Like that they have given answer. But finally, July 2010, they have issued notice for the demolition of that houses. That time they don't find any other way. So they all went 40 families. They protested in front of the municipality, pouring the man excreta on them. So by the time media have brought out this news. It has become a big news, big issues in the Karnataka and at the national level. So government of Karnataka, chief minister and other ministers have went there, the taluk, and they have apologized with the community. We are very sorry. We have been mistake from our municipality. We are not going to vacate our houses. We are going to build houses here only for you. So far, we are asking sorry like that. They have apologized. So later, the 14 family houses are built there only. So this is the one truth actually.
So were they able to get out of this manual scavenging, the 14 families, since the government came and they know it's illegal and the ministers came and apologized? Did they provide any rehabilitation?
Yeah, they have provided rehabilitation, means they have provided a job in the municipality.
Okay.
Government job and also a house for them. This is happened because this is also happened because it has become a lot big news in media. Media have done excellent work on that. That's what the government have provided. So after that, we have thought that we would like to go for to conduct a survey at the Karnataka state level to identify what types of manual scavengers practices are there like that. So we have done a photo documentation, video documentation in 224 localities. So the key findings of the study, this is the thing actually, there are 3 categories of sanitation workers are there in the Karnataka as well as other parts also. That is, one is the manual scavengers. Manual scavengers means they are purely manual scavengers, they are not doing any other work actually. You can able to see in the towns, they will hold long stick and they will rounding here there. So they are asking they are cleaning the block with the soap pit or the UGD works, whatever there, that is their working. And second is the sewage workers, septic tank cleaners. These sewage workers appointed by the sewage board in every town, water and sewage board. So these people are contract workers actually. They are supposed to clean the UGD connections, underground drainage systems actually. And another one is sweepers. Sweepers who are there, the sweepers, there is a sweeper and manual scavenger difference is there. Sweeper means supposed to sweep only the garbage and dust and other things. But these people, 80% of the sweepers are engaging in the manual scavenging. Because in India, all over the towns, wherever we see, the sweeping job was given a outsourcing for the contract. So contractor was appointing these people, he will give the salary. So by the time he was not giving proper salary, highest salary in India for sweepers is 6,000 rupees, 6 to 7,000 rupees. In Delhi, Hyderabad, Chennai, Bangalore, wherever we go. So with 6,000, 7,000, they cannot able to serve their family in the town. They are living in the slum area, even a slum area also rented out. Because of their poverty and their daily bread, they used to go to do a scavenging work in the midnight or early morning, like that. So majority of the sweepers are scavengers. So this is 3 category manual scavengers are there in the India, rural and urban area. This is one media news, that is the police have called them and made them to clean their police station toilet. Police supposed to protect the law actually. The police also they call and make them to assign them to clean the septic tank in police station. This is the people who are dying while they cleaning the manholes and man excreta and UGD connection. This is in Hubli, 2 young brothers, they have died in 2011, 10-11. This is one Yakub, which is he is also died in Dharwad municipality while cleaning the manhole. This is the youths. These youths are our union leaders actually in Kolar district. These people also while cleaning the manhole, they have died. The Arjun and Mahadev from Sakleshpur, they have died in the estate while cleaning the manhole. So the serious chain of the death is going to happening from 2010 onwards, 9 onwards, we are doing close monitoring of the deaths actually. So from 2009-10 to still now, 56 people have died while cleaning the manhole. So just before 1 year, 2015 and 16 people have died in Karnataka. It means every month one person was dying in the while cleaning the manhole. But our demand is to, with government, to register proper complaint on the local bodies, because local body, district collector is the principal employer according to the act actually. But unfortunately, police and local politicians have mingling in this is they are not going to register proper complaints. They are registering 304, section 304. Section 304A means negligency death. It's called negligency death. It is not actually negligency death actually, because many people knows the man can enter in the manhole, definitely is going to die. It is known fact actually. So it will come under the section 304(2), because no will have make them to enter in the manhole. It is not non-knowing. Anybody's, because engineers are there, health inspectors are there, educated families are there, all the people know if anybody can enter in the manhole, definitely they are going to die within a 5 minutes. Even though police are not registering proper complaint. So this is a death chain actually. So this is one Lakshmama. She is working as a manual scavenger in the minister house. So ministers have a guts to implement the legislation. They have taken a oath on the constitution. They are supposed to implement the constitution, but they are doing all this illegal work. This is all the practice of the manual scavenging, how it's happening. Some of the women, they are migrated from the Gujarat and Haryana to Karnataka border districts. So they are engaged in the manual scavenging practice. These are one old age persons, two persons in the Haveri district, the Bangi community. They are engaged in last from the 40 years in this occupation. Still now they are laying on the street. Municipality have not able to identify them, provide them at least house. So after several types of struggle from our unions and our organizations, government of High Court of Karnataka have instructed to government to provide a mechanical equipments for the cleaning the. So then they have purchased jetting machines and sucking machines, but unfortunately the sucking machine can able to suck only the water from the soap pit. It's not able to suck the excreta actually. Again, if you want to remove the excreta, somebody have to go inside. So there is no proper, appropriate technology for doing this. No means it is there, but government of states and government of India have not ready to invent or invest to bring the proper technology. And this vehicle can able to go only straight roads only, not in the gullies, cross road and all, because this is a normal big lorry. So scavengers in Kolar, the gold field, these people came while when the Kolar gold field are functioning time. These people have brought from the British for cleaning their shit actually. Completely they brought for the cleaning shit actually. After the gold field closed, all the people are went their places. These people are remained there. So they don't have any skill. They cannot do anything. They have to be survive on the scavenging work. So the scavengers' health condition is very bad actually, because they have to take alcohol and they have to do that work actually all the time. So they completely their organs have gone. This is one Mr. Manjuna. He's actually 33 years old actually. He looks like his mother, because like that much health have affected. One Babu from KGF, while he is removing the toilet stone, his spinal cord have injured. So no one have not taken care on him. So now he is lying on the floor. He cannot able to sit. He cannot able to walk. But municipality is supposed to take care. But municipality is saying He is not our employer. We have not appointed him. We have not recruited him. Legally, technically. So one Prabhu is past 10th standard, actually. But because his father is a manual scavenger, people are treating him as a manual scavenger, even after 10th standard also. Even auto drivers, local people are treating as a manual scavenger. That the one discrimination is not going out from his family. So one Nagaraj have broken his leg while removing the stone and the soapit. Completely it's gone. It is infected. The leg is gone. He is now disabled. So I am going to talk about the Swachh Bharat, which is all of you know about the Swachh Bharat scheme. Now after the Modi, actually it's not after the Modi, it is before also Nirmal Bharat scheme was there. That Nirmal Bharat scheme, name change now Swachh Bharat actually. Both scheme, there is no any solution for the manual scavenging practice actually. We are demanding to the government of India to invent a proper technology and proper infrastructure, usually infrastructure. Actually, originally, if Swachh Bharat is supposed to work in India, they have to do first this work actually. But they are doing only taking the photos, taking the testimony and video, TV. They are doing a lot of advertisement with the cinema actors. They are spending crores of rupees for the advertisement. They are not ready to make any invent on this technological work. So as we demanding and we are looking forward to this occupation, if we want to eradicate the mainstream education for the scavenging community children and supportive education for the children and serious commitment by policymakers and society to ensure alternative sustainable livelihood options and strict implementation of legal process and the overcome of ecological damage and international pressure and support group dedicated to the community to manual scavengers. This we have came out after several years and several times. So we need international. You are here, progressive thinkers. You are like-minded people. We need your support to make a proper technology, proper infrastructure to create India. We need your support also, and also our people need some counseling and making certain on their physical damage, because several years they have practiced as scavengers, as untouchables, as a indignified occupation. That is, and need proper education support, because several years they have not got education. They are out of the education. That's what they are engaged in the such occupations, you child by child actually. So Thamate, my organization, I belongs to Thamate organization. Thamate is the drum, all of the Thamate which is playing. That is called Thamate. In English, drum. In Telugu, we call it Dabatu. In Tamil, we call Parai. We call this instrument made by the Dalit community. This instrument is cultural symbol of Dalit community. So we used to play this instrument on back for slavery works. The dominant community somebody died. We used to play that Thamate and spread the information across the relatives. Here or any is happening in the village, we have to play the Thamate and we have to make them entertainment other, and we have across the village. Any food information, water information, health information, whatever information if you want to spread, we have to play and spread the information. So Thamate have used it for the all community people well-being. But all community people, these Thamate playing people have kept out as untouchables. So we have formed a society, registered society in the name of Thamate. So we have taken a oath on that. We are going to play our Thamate Because it is our cultural instrument. We are not going to stop that. We are going to play, but we will play for our empowerment, not for any slavery work. So like that, we registered on that store. So we are engaging in Karnataka, one of the district called Tumkur. We are working in 3-4 blocks intensively on education, health, self-employment, also the legal intervention. So this process we have started long back, 5 years back. So now we have done several achievements, several outcomes came. We have mobilized our community, we have made sanghas, and we have advocacy with the government. We have got several entitlements with the government according to the legislation. This process where we done small process, small area, big process, big achievement. This we would like to extend across the Karnataka, and this is our actually. So now I would like to show the video, what we have done so far, how we have done so far.
ಪಂಚಾಯತ್ಗೆ ಇದು ಚರಂಡಿ ತೆಗೆಯೋದು, ಪಚ್ಚೆ ಬಾಟ ಹಾಕೋದು, ವಾಟರ್ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬೀದಿ ಬಾಟ ಹಾಕೋದು ಬೀದಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಏರ್ತಿದ್ದು ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಬಾಚ್ತೀವಿ.
చిత్రం అంటే ఏం లేదు సార్, కొంది అదే గలీజ్ అది ఆ టైప్ లో మంచిగా చూస్తుంటారు. ఎంత మేము పని చేస్తామని ఆ టైప్ లో చూస్తుంటారు అని చెప్తాం. ఆ పని అంటే గొప్ప పని చేస్తున్నాం మేము ఆ టైప్ లో చూస్తుంటారు.
ನಮ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ಆಫೀಸ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ತಲೆಯಿಂದ ತುಂಬಾ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಒಬ್ಬ ಜವಾನಿಂದ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಳ್ತಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಆಳ್ಕೆಗಳಿಗೆ ದರ್ಬಾರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದ ಆ ತಲೆ ಗಮನಿಸ್ಕೊಂತಾರೆ ಸರ್ ಅಂತ ಪ್ರೋತ್ಸಾಹಕಾರಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಕೈ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ನಿಲ್ಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಾಯ್ತು. ಏನಂತ ಕೇಳಕ್ಕೂ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅವಕಾಶ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ನೀವು ಯಾವ ನಡೆಯೋ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ರು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡೋ ಭಾವನೆ ಕೂಡ ಇರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ. ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮಿಂದ ಏನ್ ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮಿಂದ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬಾರ್ದು. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ 7 ಭಾಷೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು ಮಕ್ಕಳು ನಮ್ಮಂತ ಮೇಲೆ ಬರಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಕೀಳು ಬಾಧೆಯಿಂದ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಕೀಳುವಾಗಿ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಅವ್ರು ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ತಿಂದು ಮಿಕ್ಕಿದ ಎಂಜಿಗೂ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು.
ಅದೇ ನಿಮ್ಮನೆ ಮುಂದ್ಗಡೆ ನೀವು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಮಾಡಿದಂತವ್ರಿಗೆ ಆ ಹೆಣ್ಮಗುಗೆ ಒಂದು ಗ್ಲಾಸ್ ನೀರು ನಿಮ್ ಮನೆ ಕರೆದು ಕೊಡಕ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಿದೆ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿ?
ಜಾಡಮಾಲಿನಿ ಬೀದಿ ಗುಡಿಸದೆ ಕೋಳಿ ಕೂಗದಿಲ್ಲ, ಬೆಳಗಿನ ಸೂರ್ಯ ಉದಯದಲ್ಲ, ಬೆಳಗಿನ ಸೂರ್ಯ ಉದಯದಲ್ಲ. ಜಾಡಮಾಲಿನಿ ಬೀದಿ ಗುಡಿಸದೆ ಕೋಳಿ ಕೂಗದಿಲ್ಲ, ಬೆಳಗಿನ ಅಂತ ನಿತ್ಯ ಯಾವಾಗ ಕಾಲಲ್ಲಿ ಮೈ ತುಂಬಾ ಕೆಲಸ, ನಿತ್ಯ ಅವತಾರ ಪುರುಷ ಕತ್ತಲಲ್ಲಿ ಮೈ ತುಂಬಾ ಕೆಲಸ, ಒದ್ದು ಮೂಡುವ ಮೊದಲೇ ಬದುಕಿನ ಕಾಯಕ ಬಲುಬಾರ, ನಿನ್ನ ಕಾಯಕ ಬಲುಬಾರ, ನಿನ್ನ ಕಾಯಕ ಬಲುಬಾರ, ಕಾಯಕ ಬಲುಬಾರ. ಜಾಡಮಾಲಿನಿ ಬೀದಿ ಕುಡಿಸದೆ ಕೋಳಿ ಕೂಗುವುದಿಲ್ಲ, ಬೆಳಗಿನ ಬೆಳಗಿನ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಎದ್ದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಮುದ್ದೆ ಕೂಳಿಗೆ ಜೀವನವಿಲ್ಲ. ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಎದ್ದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಮುದ್ದೆ ಕೂಳಿಗೆ ಜೀವನವಿಲ್ಲ. ಒದ್ದೆ ಹಾಡಿದಲ್ಲ ಮಲ ಮುದ್ರಕದೆ ಕಟ್ಟಡದೊಳಗ, ಮಲ ಮುದ್ರಕದೆ ಕಟ್ಟಡದೊಳಗ, ಮಲ ಮುದ್ರಕದೆ ಜಾಡಮಾಲಿನಿ ಬೀದಿ ಕುಡಿಸದೆ ಕೋಳಿ ಕೂಗುವುದಿಲ್ಲ, ಬೆಳಗಿನ ಬೆಳಗಿನ ಸೂರ್ಯ ಉದಯದಲ್ಲ,
ಸರ್, ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮತ್ತು ದಕ್ಷಿಣ ಭಾರತ ಮತ್ತು ಭಾರತ ಮಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ದಲಿತರು ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ, ಶೆಡ್ಯೂಲ್ಡ್ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಜಾತಿ ಮಾದಿಗರು ಅಥವಾ ಬಂಗಿ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹಳ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಮಾದಿಗರಿಗೆ. ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ 100-150 ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ಫೇಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅನೇಕ ವರ್ಷಗಳಿಂದ ನಮ್ಮ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದರಿಂದ, ಅನೇಕ ವರ್ಷಗಳಿಂದ ಅಸ್ಪೃಶ್ಯತೆ ಆಚರಣೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಬದಿದ್ರಿಂದ, ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ತಲತಲಾಂತರಗಳಿಂದ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕೆಲವು ಗುಲಾಮ ಕೆಲಸಗಳು ನಡೀತಾನೆ ಇದೆ. ನಾನು ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರು ಬಹಳ ದಿನ ನಾವು ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಒಂದು ಕನ್ಸಾಲಿಡೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಯಾವ ವಿಷಯದ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ತಮ್ಮತೆ ಆಗಿ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕೈಲಿ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ರೂ ಕೆಲವು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ವಿಷಯಗಳು ಯಾವುವು ಅಂತ ಬಂದಾಗ ನಮಗೆ 2 ಬಹಳ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾದಂತ ವಿಷಯಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಕಳಂಕ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ವಿಷಯಗಳು ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಒಟ್ಟಾರೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಮಲವನ್ನು ತೊಡಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ವೃತ್ತಿ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ದೇವದಾಸಿ ಪದ್ಧತಿ.
ಮೊದಲಿಗೆ ಪೌರ ಕಾರ್ಮಿಕರು ಪಟ್ಟಣ ಪಂಚಾಯತ್ ಪಾವರದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪೌರ ಕಾರ್ಮಿಕರು, ಪಾವರ ತಾಲೂಕಿನಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲ ಗ್ರಾಮ ಪಂಚಾಯತಿಗಳಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಜಾಗಮಾನಗಳು ಸ್ಥಿತಿಗತಿಗಳು ಹಿಂಗಿದ್ವಪ್ಪ ಮೊದಲು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಕೇವಲ 500 ರೂಪಾಯಿ 1000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಜಾಗಮಾನಗಳು ಸಂಬಳ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಪೌರ ಕಾರ್ಮಿಕರಿಗೆ ಕೇವಲ 200 ರೂಪಾಯಿ 2200 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಕೂಲಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಒಂದು ತಿಂಗಳಿಗೆ.
ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲಿ ಪಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲಿ ಸಮಾನ ಅವಕಾಶ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಜಾತಿಗೆ. ಉದಾಹರಣೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ಕೆಲ್ಸಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದ್ರು ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಜಾತಿನೇ ಅಡ್ಡ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ನಾವು ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡಕ್ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಅಂತ ಜಾತಿ ನಾನು ಕೂತ
2013ರಲ್ಲಿ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಮಲಾವರವರನ್ನ ಸಮೀಕ್ಷೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಆ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ಗುತ್ತಿಗೆ ಪೌರ ಕಾರ್ಮಿಕರನ್ನ ಮತ್ತು ಗ್ರಾಮ ಪಂಚಾಯತಿ ಜಾಗಮಾನಗಳನ್ನ ಮಲಾವರವರು ಅಂತ ಗುರುತನ್ನ ವಿದೇಶಪೂರ್ವಕ ಕೈ ಬಿಟ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಮಲಾವರ ಅಲ್ಲ ಅಂತೇಳಿ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಕಾನೂನು ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಪ್ರತಿನಿಧಿ ಅವರು ಮಲಾವರವನ್ನ ಸ್ವಚ್ಛ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಬಯಲು ಶೌಚಾಲಯನ ಸ್ವಚ್ಛ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆ ಆಧಾರದ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ತಮ್ಮಟೆ ಅವರನ್ನ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಡಿಕ್ಲರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿಸಿ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಫಿಡವಿಟ್ ನ ಫಿಲ್ ಮಾಡಿಸಿ, ನೋಟರಿ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಅಫಿಡವಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಸಿ ರಾಜ್ಯ ಮಾನವ ಹಕ್ಕುಗಳ ಆಯೋಗಕ್ಕೆ 273 ಅಫಿಡವಿಟ್ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತೀವಿ. ರಾಜ್ಯ ಮಾನವ ಹಕ್ಕುಗಳ ಆಯೋಗಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಿ, ರಾಜ್ಯ ಸರ್ಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ನಿರ್ದೇಶನ ಮಾಡಿ ನಾವು ಮಲಾವರವರು ಅಂತ ಗುರುತಿಸೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಈ ಒಂದು ವಿಷಯ ಇದುವರೆಗೂ ಸಹ ರಾಜ್ಯ ಮಾನವ ಹಕ್ಕುಗಳ ಆಯೋಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಪೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಇದೆ.
ದಲಿತರಿಗೆ ಸಿಗ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸೌಲಭ್ಯಗಳನ್ನ ಸಿಗದಂಗೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಆ ಸೌಲಭ್ಯಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾಹಿತಿಯೇ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾರೋ ಒಬ್ಬ ಮೇಲ್ವರ್ಗದವರು ಇವರ ಹೆಸರಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರು ಬರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸೌಲಭ್ಯಗಳನ್ನ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ನನ್ನ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಗೆ ಬಂತು. ಆವಾಗ ಆ ಸರ್ಕಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸೌಲಭ್ಯಗಳನ್ನ ಆ ಜನಾಂಗಕ್ಕೆ ಕೊಡಿಸ್ಬೇಕು, ಆ ಜನಾಂಗನ ಅವೇರ್ನೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಆ ಜನಾಂಗ ಸಮಾನವಾಗಿ ಬದುಕಬೇಕು, ಆ ಜನಾಂಗಕ್ಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸೌಲಭ್ಯಗಳು ಸಿಗಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ನಿಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ತಮ್ಮಟೆ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯಿಂದ ನಾವು ಹೋರಾಟಗಳನ್ನ ರೂಪಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮುಂದೆ
ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. ಮನೆ ಹತ್ರ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ, ಅವ್ರು ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೂ ಕಾಲಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ಅವರ ಅಂತ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ. ಅದು ಇವಾಗ ಏನು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸಾಧ್ಯ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೀವಿ. ಮನೆ ಹತ್ರ ಹೋಗೋದು ಇಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಈ ಸಂಘ ಬಂದಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಏನು ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಕೊಂಡ್ಲಾಗತ್ತಿ 15 పోతే 15 పోతే 15 చేసుకుని నెక్స్ట్ 2 నింటి తోటలు పని చేసుకుని పెట్టేసి తోటలో శనకాయ తీసి శనకాయ తీసుకున్నట్ట ఇష్టం చేసాక ఇంట్లో సంవత్సరాలు అంతా పని చేసుకున్నది బాగా తీసుకున్నది అంతా సుమారు చేసుకున్నది.
కొంటేనే ఇవ్వడాలి పోతే అనిపిస్తాను మాకు ఇప్పటిగా బాగుంది. నేను వాళ్ళకి మేము ఎదబడితే కింద కుక్కునేది వాళ్ళు వస్తే మేము పైన అనేది అంత ఎదబడతాను. ఫస్ట్ వాళ్ళకి ఎదబడదు కూడా మేము ధైర్యంగా పోయి అడతాము, సమూహము అడిగిస్తే ధైర్యంగా తెచ్చుకుంటాం. మా సంఘం దిక్కొట్టది.
ಸಂಘ ಮಾಡಿದವರು ಒಂದು ಗ್ರಿಪ್ ಬಂತು. నేను మాట్లాడతాగల ಯಾರು ಕಡೆಗೆ ತೆಗಿಯೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ಇವ್ರನ್ನ ಅಂತಂದು ಒಂದು ಇದು ಆಯ್ತು.
మా సంఘంలో సార్ నెలకు పెట్టుకోగలుగుతాము. మా సంఘం ఇంకా టిఫన్ మాస్ హెడ్ కార్డ్ గ్లోజులు బూట్లు అవన్నీ ఇచ్చారు.
ಅದ್ರ ಇಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಇದು ಸಫಾಯಿ ಕರ್ಮಚಾರಿಗಳು ನಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಏಕ ನಮ್ಮ ಒಪ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ಅವ್ರು ಸುಮಾರು ಒಂದು 6 ತಿಂಗಳ ಜೊತೆ ದಿನ ನಾನು ಬರೋದು, ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ ಬರೋದು, ನಾವು ಅವ್ರು ಮಾತಾಡ್ಸೋದು, ಏನ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ರ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಹಿಂಗೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರು ನಾವು ಬರ್ತಾರೆ, ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ, ಯಾವ ತರ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ, ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಮ್ಮಂತ ಗೀಲಿ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡೋದು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇವ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇವ್ರು ಕೆಲವು ಸೌಲಭ್ಯಗಳನ್ನ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಬಂದಾಗ ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹತ್ರ ಬಂದ್ರು.
ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಆಫೀಸು, ಯಾವುದೇ ಕಚೇರಿ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಕಚೇರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನು ಸೌಲಭ್ಯ ಇದೆ, ನಾವ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು, ಯಾರ ಹತ್ರ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅರಿವಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಇಲಾಖೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನು ಸೌಲಭ್ಯ ಇದೆ, ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಇಲಾಖೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಉದ್ಯೋಗ ಇದು ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರು ಏನೇನು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಆ ತರದ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಗೈಡೆನ್ಸ್, ಅರಿವು ಮುಟ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. ನಾಯಕತ್ವದ ಗುಣ ಬೆಳೆಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳನ್ನ ಅವರೇ ಪರಿಹಾರ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಾವೇನು ಕನಸು ಕಂಡಿದ್ವಿ, ಆ ಒಂದು ಕನಸು ಇವತ್ತು ನನಸಾಗಿದೆ. ಅವರೇ ನಾಯಕತ್ವ ತಗೊಂಡು ಅವರೇ ಮುನ್ಸಿಪಾಲಿಟಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳನ್ನ ಭೇಟಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಧೈರ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳು ಮುಂದ್ಗಡೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅವರ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳನ್ನ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಪರಿಹಾರ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂತ ಶಕ್ತಿ, ಸಾಮರ್ಥ್ಯ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಬಂದಿದೆ.
ಊಟ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರೋಕೆ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಮನೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಊಟ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ಟೆ ಸಿಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಹಂಗಾಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅವ್ರು ಕೆಲವು ಟೈಮ್ ಊಟ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹಂಗೇನೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳ ಜೊತೆ ಸೇರಿ ರಾಜಕಾರಣಿಗಳನ್ನ ಕರೆಸಿ ಇಬ್ಬರು ಒಂದು ಸಭೆ ಮಾಡಿ ನಾವು ಮಾತಾಡಿದಾಗ ಆಗ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳು ಮತ್ತೆ ರಾಜಕೀಯದೆಲ್ಲ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಾರ್ಮಿಕರ ಮಾತುಗಳಿಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟು 22.7 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತೆಗೆದು ಅದನ್ನ ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನ 10 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನ ಊಟ ಕೊಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಏರ್ಪಾಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಒಂದು 8 ತಿಂಗಳಿಂದ ಇದು ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ.
ಮತ್ತೆ ಈ ಜನ ಯಾರಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಫಾಯಿ ಕರ್ಮಚಾರಿಗಳು, ಅವ್ರು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅಪೌಷ್ಟಿಕತೆ, ಅನಿಮಿಕ್, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಅನಿಮಿಕ್, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕುಡ್ತಾ ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಡ್ರಿಂಕರ್, ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆನೆ ಕುಡಿಬೇಕು, ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನ ಕುಡಿಬೇಕು, ರಾತ್ರಿ ಕುಡಿಬೇಕು. ಅವರ ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ನಾಶ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಅವರ ದೇಹಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ರಕ್ತನೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ರಕ್ತ ಹೀರ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದಾರಲ್ಲ. ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮಾತಾಡಿದಾಗ ಏನಿದೆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್, ಏನ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಹಿಂಗೆ? ಹಣ ನಾವು ಗಲೀಜ್ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಕುಡಿಲೇಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ವಾಸನೆ ಕಳ್ಕೊಳಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ನಾವು ಕುಡಿತೀವಿ.
ಈ ಮಾಮೂಲಾಗಿ ದಲಿತರ ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಮಕ್ಕಳಲ್ಲಿ ಗಂಭೀರವಾದಂತಹ ಕಾಯಿಲೆಗಳಿವೆ, ದಲಿತರ ಗಂಡು ಮಕ್ಕಳಲ್ಲೂ ಸಹ ಗಂಭೀರವಾದ ಕಾಯಿಲೆಗಳಿವೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ದೊಡ್ಡ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲ್ ಹೋಗಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, ತೋರ್ಸ್ಕೊಬೇಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಹತ್ರ ಹೋಗಿ ತೋರ್ಸ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಮನಸ್ಥಿತಿನೇ ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಾವು ತಮಟೆ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯಿಂದ ನಾವ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಂತ ಗಂಭೀರವಾದಂತಹ ಕಾಯಿಲೆಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ಹಳ್ಳಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಗುರುತಿಸಿ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲ್ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲ್ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡೋಗಿ ಯಾವ ಕಾಯಿಲೆ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಯಾವ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಹತ್ರ ತೋರಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ನಿಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಆ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಹತ್ರ ಹೋಗಿ ಆ ಕಾಯಿಲೆ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡಿಸಿ ಈ ಪೇಷಂಟ್ ಇಂದ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ವಿಚಾರಗಳನ್ನ, ಕಾಯಿಲೆಗಳನ್ನ ತಿಳಿಸಿ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಬೇಕಾದಂತ ಔಷಧಿಗಳನ್ನ ಕೊಡಿಸೋದಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಮುಂದೆ ತುಮಕೂರು ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ರಾಜ್ಯ ಮಟ್ಟದ ಆಸ್ಪತ್ರೆಗೆ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಕಳ್ಸ್ಕೊಡೋ ನಿಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಆ ಜನಾಂಗಕ್ಕೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಆಸ್ಪತ್ರೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ತೋರಿಸೋ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗೆ.
7, 8 ಮತ್ತು 9ನೇ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಮುದಾಯ ಮೇಲ್ವಿಚಾರಣೆ ಮತ್ತು ಯೋಜನೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ರೂರಲ್ ಹೆಲ್ತ್ ಮಿಷನ್ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಂತೆ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ಮಾನಿಟರಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಪ್ಲಾನಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಸಕ್ರಿಯವಾಗಿ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸಿ ತುಮಕೂರು ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ 160 ಹಳ್ಳಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಈ ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ಮತ್ತು ಮೇಲ್ವಿಚಾರಣೆ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ರೂಪಿಸಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಇದು NRHM ಭಾಗವಾಗಿ ಬಂದಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ. 66 PHCಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ಮಾನಿಟರ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ದಾಖಲೆಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿ, ಸರ್ವೆ ಮಾಡಿ, ಅಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ನ್ಯೂನತೆಗಳನ್ನ ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಗಮನಕ್ಕೆ ತಂದು ಆ 160 PHCಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ಸೌಲಭ್ಯಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಶ್ರಮ ವಹಿಸಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ.
ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಹಾಕಿಕೊಂಡು ಸಾರ್ವಜನಿಕವಾಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ತಿಳಿಯೋ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಮುಂದಿಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಮೊದಲನೇದಾಗಿ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆ. ಇಂಥ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಂಬಿಕೊಳ್ಳೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಸಾರ್ವಜನಿಕರ ಕುಂದುಕೊರತೆಗಳನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಬಹಳ ಅನುಕೂಲವಾದಂತಹ
2013 ಪ್ರಾವಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಫಂಡ್ ಹಣವನ್ನ ಕಾರ್ಮಿಕರಿಂದ ಕಟ್ಟಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಆದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಾವಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಫಂಡ್ ಆಫೀಸ್ಗೆ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕಟ್ಟಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಇದು ಸುಮಾರು 6 ಲಕ್ಷ ರೂಪಾಯಿಯಷ್ಟು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಅಮೌಂಟ್. ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಪದೇ ಪದೇ ಮಾತಾಡಿ ನಂತರ ನಾವು DC-ಗೆ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ವಿ. DC ಅವರು ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳು ನೋಟಿಸ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ನೋಟಿಸ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳು ನನ್ನನ್ನು ಹುಡುಕೊಂಡ್ಬಂದು ಅಷ್ಟು ಹಣವನ್ನ ತಂದು PF ಆಫೀಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ವಿತ್ ಪೆನಾಲ್ಟಿ ಕಟ್ಟಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ರಸೀದಿಗಳನ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡು ಮತ್ತೆ DC ಹತ್ರ ಹೋಗಿ ಈ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ, ಈಗ ಪ್ರಾವಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಫಂಡ್ ಹಣ ಜಮಾ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ
ನಮ್ಗೆ ಎನ್ಶೂರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ವಾಪಸ್ ತಗೊಳ್ತೀವಿ.
ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಡ್ಡಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಅವ್ರನ್ನು ನಾವೇ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅವ್ರ ತಂದೆ ಒಂದು ಭೇಟಿ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಿಮ್ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಏನ್ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅವ್ರು ಈ ತರ ನಮ್ಮ ಹುಡುಗ 5ನೇ ತರಗತಿ ಓದ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದ, ಅವ್ನು ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಡ್ಡಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, 7ನೇ ತರಗತಿ ಓದ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದ, ಅವನು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅಡ್ಡಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ಅವನು ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಹೋಗು ಅನ್ನೋ ಕೂಡ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಂತವ್ರು ನಾವು ಭೇಟಿ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮಕ್ಕಳು, ಇಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ನಿಮ್ ತಂದೆ ಅವರು ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಹೀನವಾದ ಒಂದು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಆ ಒಂದು ಕೆಲಸ ಮತ್ತೆ ನೀವು ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು, ನೀವೇನಾದ್ರೂ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಪಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ನೀವು ಮುಂದೆ ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಹುದ್ದೆಯನ್ನು ಪಡಿಬೇಕು, ಹಾಗಾಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನೀವು ಓದಿ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಸಜೆಷನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ.
ಸರ್ ನಾವು ಮಾಡಿ ಪೌರಕಾರ್ಮಿಕ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಅವರು ಮತ್ತೆ ಅವ್ರ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿಗೆ ಪೌರಕಾರ್ಮಿಕರು ಆಗ್ಬಾರ್ದು, ಅವ್ರು ಪೆನ್ನು ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಬೇಕು ಹೊರತು ಪಾರಿಕೆಯನ್ನು ಇಡಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ ಆ ಉದ್ದೇಶದಿಂದ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್. ಅವರು ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಪೌರಕಾರ್ಮಿಕ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಓದ್ಸಕ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಅವ್ರು ಓದಲ್ಲ, ಅವರು ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅರಿವಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದರಿಂದ ಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಓದ್ತಾರೆ, ಉನ್ನತ ವ್ಯಾಸಂಗ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ಬಾರ್ದಂತ ಈ ಉದ್ದೇಶದಿಂದ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್.
ನಾವು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇವಾಗ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇವಾಗ ಬುಕ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ಸಕ್ಕಾಗ್ಲಿ, ಬ್ಯಾಗ್ ಕೊಡ್ಸಕ್ಕಾಗ್ಲಿ, ಪೆನ್ ಕೊಡ್ಸಕ್ಕಾಗ್ಲಿ, ನೋಟ್ ಬುಕ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ಸಕ್ಕಾಗ್ಲಿ ಮನೇಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದೇ ಭೀಮಾ ಶಾಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಇದು ವಸ್ತುಗಳು ಅನುಕೂಲ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಈಗ ಹಾಸ್ಟೆಲ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಹಾಸ್ಟೆಲ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇವಾಗ ನಿಮ್ 5th ಅಂತ ಮುರಜಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಬರ್ಸಿ ಅವರು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಆಶೆ ಸೇರ್ತೀವಿ ಬನ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ನಾವು ಹಾಸ್ಟೆಲ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಇದ್ರೆ ಎಂತ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಾದ್ರೂ ಅದು ಭೀಮಾ ಶಾಲೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಪೌರಕಾರ್ಮಿಕ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗಂತ ಅನೇಕ ರೀತಿಯ ಸೌಲಭ್ಯ, ಅದರಿಂದ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ರೀತಿಯ ಸೌಲಭ್ಯಗಳನ್ನು ಒದಗಿಸ್ಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್. ಅದರಿಂದ ನಾವು ವಿದ್ಯಾಭ್ಯಾಸದಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಂದುವರಿಯಲು ಅವಕಾಶ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್. ಪೆನ್ನು, ಪುಸ್ತಕ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ನೋಟ್ಸ್, ಜಾಮೆಟ್ರಿ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇವಾಗ ಜಾಮೆಟ್ರಿ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಕೊಂಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಅದು ಓದಿನ ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಮೆಟ್ರಿ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬುಕ್ಸ್, ನೋಟ್ಸ್, ಬ್ಯಾಗ್ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ರೀತಿಯ ಸೌಲಭ್ಯಗಳನ್ನು ಒದಗಿಸ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ
ಸರ್. ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಲಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಶಾಲೆ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ. 4ನೇ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಓದಿಸಿದ್ವಿ. 4ನೇ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಓದಿಸಿ 5ಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದ. 5ಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಬರ್ದ. ಅವಾಗ ಹಿಂಗೇನೆ ವಿದ್ವಾನ್ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯಿಂದ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಕಾಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಸೇರಿಸ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂತ ಬಂದ್ರು ಸಿದ್ದಗಂಗಯ್ಯರು. ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲಾರ ಕೆಲಸ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ವಿ, ಈ ತರ ಅಂತಂದು ಅವ್ರು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಸರಿ, ನಮ್ಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಲಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಓದಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಲ್ಲ, ಸರಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಂ ಅನ್ನ ಕಲೀಲಿ, ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಹಳ್ಳಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಬೇಡ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಆಯ್ತು ಸರ್ ಸೇರಿಸ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಅವರು ಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು, ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಿದ್ರು, ಅದ್ರೊಳಗೆ ಪಾಸ್ ಆದ. ತುಮಕೂರಿಗೆ ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲಿಂಗ್ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಿದ್ರು, ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋದ್ವಿ. ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಇದಾಯ್ತು. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾವ ಕಡೆ ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಇನ್ನು ಹೊಸದಾಗಿ ಸೇರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ, ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಬಡನಹಳ್ಳಿಗೆ ಹಾಕೊಡಿ ಸರ್ ಅಂದ್ವಿ. ಬಡನಹಳ್ಳಿಗೆ ಸೇರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ. ತಮಟೆ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯಿಂದ ಸಿದ್ದಗಂಗಯ್ಯ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ನಾವು ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಸೇರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ.
ಸಫಾಯಿ ಕರ್ಮಚಾರಿ ಯುವಕರು ಯಾರಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಯುವಕರು ತುಂಬಾ ಜನ ಈ ಸಫಾಯಿ ಕರ್ಮಚಾರಿ ಕೆಲಸಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಾವು ಸಫಾಯಿ ಕರ್ಮಚಾರಿ ಕೆಲಸಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬಾರ್ದು ನೀವು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರೆಲ್ಲ ಯುವಕರು ಪೊಟೆನ್ಶಿಯಲ್ ಯುವಕರನ್ನ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಪರ್ಯಾಯ ಉದ್ಯೋಗಗಳಿಗೆ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ.
ನಾನು 10ನೇ ತಾರೀಕಿನ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಸ್ಕೂಲಲ್ಲಿ ಓದಿದ್ದೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ITI ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ. ನಾನು 2 ವರ್ಷ ITI ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ. ಅದಾದ ನಂತರ ಸಣ್ಣ ಪುಟ್ಟ ವೈರಿಂಗ್ ಕೆಲಸ ಕಲಿತಿದ್ದೆ ಅಣ್ಣನಿದ್ದೆ. ಈ ತರ ವೈರಿಂಗ್ ಕೆಲಸಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಊರಲ್ಲೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವಿ, ಸಣ್ಣ ಪುಟ್ಟ ಕೆಲಸ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅದಾದ ನಂತರ ಈ ತರ ಅಣ್ಣ ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ವೊಕೇಶನಲ್ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಅವ್ರು ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರು. ಅವರ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ನಂಗೆ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಎಲ್ಲ ಏನೇನು ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ರು, ಈ ತರ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರು. ಆ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರ್ತೈತೆ, ನೀನು ಒಂದ್ಸರಿ ಬರ್ಬೋದು. ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಊರಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅರ್ಜೆಂಟ್ಗಳು, ಟಮಟೆ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ, ಅವ್ರು ಮೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಆ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಬಾ, ತುಂಬಾ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಲೈಫ್ ಇರ್ತೈತೆ ನಿಂಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ರು. ಸರಿ ನಾನು ಬರ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೆ. ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಕೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ನನ್ನ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಆಯ್ತು ಕಳಿಸ್ತೀವಿ ಇರ್ರಿ ನಿಧಾನ ಹೋಗೋಣ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ರು. ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ಪಾವಗಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಓಬಳೇಶ್ ಅಂತ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಬಂದಿದ್ರು. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಐಟಿ ಹತ್ರ ಮೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಮೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀಯಾ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಆಯ್ತು ಸರ್ ಓಕೆ ಅಂತ ಅವತ್ತು ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ ಅವ್ರು ಕಳಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ರು.
ಕಾನೂನುಗಳು ಬಂದಿದ್ರು ಸಹ ಅದೇ ಸಫಾಯಿ ಕರ್ಮಚಾರಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಅವೇರ್ನೆಸ್ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಇದುವರೆಗೂ. ಅವರಿಗೆ ಈ ಕಾನೂನುಗಳು ಮತ್ತು ಕಾಲಂಗಳು ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ, ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯ ರಿಹಾಬಿಲಿಟೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕಾನೂನು ಹೇಳ್ತದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಇಡೀ ಸಫಾಯಿ ಕರ್ಮಚಾರಿ ಸಮುದಾಯಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಎಜುಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ. ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾನೂನು ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಇಂಟರ್ಫೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಡ್ವೊಕಸಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಕ್ರಮ ತಗೊಂತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ.
సంఘం బాగుందండి, కొట్లాడద్దండి, పిల్ల గట్ల బాగుందండి. కొట్లాడతారు, మనం కొట్లాడతారు, మారింత మీదంతా నువ్వు తీసుకుంటే అని కొట్లాడతారు, పిల్లలాడతారు. వాళ్ళు వచ్చి చెప్తారు కొట్లాడతారు, పిల్ల గట్ల ఉండండి, కొట్లాడద్దండి, మీ సంఘము నిర్వహణ చేస్తారు, పంజాబ్ ఆఫీసులు మీకుంది చదివిస్తారు, బాగా బిప్పటిగా ఉండండి. ఎట్లాడితే రేపు పొద్దున్న హాస్పిటల్ ఏం చేస్తారు, వాసులు ఎట్టు కొట్లాడతారని నెగుతారు. బాగుండండి అటు కొట్టడం తెలిపిల్ల గట్ల బాగుండండి మీరు అని చెప్పేసారు ಸಂಘಗಳು వచ్చి ಅಂತ.
ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಇವತ್ತಿನವರೆಗೂ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಲಬರೋ ಪದ್ಧತಿ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಮಲಬಾಚುವಂತ ಕಾರ್ಮಿಕರು ಯಾರು ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ 2010ರಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ರಾಜ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ 46 ಜನ ಮಲಬಾಚುವ ಕಾರ್ಮಿಕರು ಮಲದ ಗುಂಡಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿದ್ದು ಸತ್ತಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ನಡೆದಿದೆ. ಈ ಕುರಿತಂತೆ ತಮಟೆ, ಸಫಾಯಿ ಕರ್ಮಚಾರಿ ಕಾವಲು ಸಮಿತಿ ಹಾಗೂ ಇತರೆ ಮಾನವ ಹಕ್ಕು ಸಂಘಟನೆಗಳು ಸೇರಿ ನಾವು ಸತ್ಯಶೋಧನೆಗಳನ್ನು ನಡೆಸಿದೀವಿ. ಆ ವರದಿಗಳನ್ನ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಂತ ಇಲಾಖೆಗೆ, ಆಯೋಗಗಳಿಗೆ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಆ ವರದಿಯ ಆಧಾರದ ಮೇಲೆ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ 46 ಕುಟುಂಬಗಳಿಗೂ ಕಾನೂನಾತ್ಮಕವಾದಂತಹ ಪರಿಹಾರವನ್ನು ಸಹ ಒದಗಿಸಿದೆ.
But this is also one organization which has completed the whole cycle of engaging with the grassroots, with the community, strengthening the community, taking up their issues, addressing their issues, but also involved at the state level advocacy. So otherwise normally grassroots organization don't get involved in the higher level of advocacy. So this one organization is completing the full cycle.
Thamate is a strong rights-based group situated in local community and also linking the community with many networks, which is quite a key feature of its work. So it connects the micro reality with macro issues and then it brings about policy changes.
With the limited resources they are being able to do work, I think they need to expand and try and replicate similar type of leadership what Obalesh is today, and not just similar. Now he should be taking a leadership role in nurturing young leaders in different parts of Karnataka.
ತಮಟೆ ಇಡೀ ಊರಿನ ಯಾವ ಜಾತಿ ಧರ್ಮ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಎಲ್ಲರ ಉತ್ತಮ ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆಗೋಸ್ಕರ, ಆರೋಗ್ಯಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ, ಮಾಹಿತಿಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಹೊರದಂತ ತಮಟೆಯನ್ನ ಅಸ್ಪೃಶ್ಯತೆ ಆಚರಣೆಗೆ ಬಳಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇನ್ಮೇಲೆ ತಮಟೆ ಗುಲಾಮತನಕ್ಕೆ ಬಳಸಬಾರ್ದು, ತಮಟೆಗೆ ಗೌರವ ಘನತೆ ತರಬೇಕು. ಇನ್ನು ಮುಂದೆ ತಮಟೆ ಹೊಡೆಯೋದಾದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಮುದಾಯದ ವಿಮೋಚನೆಗೋಸ್ಕರ ನಾವು ತಮಟೆ ಹೊಡಿತೀವಿ, ಬೇರೆ ಇನ್ಯಾರ್ದೋ ವಿಮೋಚನೆಗೋಸ್ಕರ, ಗುಲಾಮತನಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ನಾವು ತಮಟೆ ಹೊಡೆಯೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನುವಂತ ಸಣ್ಣ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ತಮಟೆನ ನಾವು ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. This is what we are doing in Tumkur on that issues. So now, any questions, clarifications? Good.
So this is a basic down question from somebody not from India. And is if the manual scavengers go pick up all this human waste, what do they do with it?
Yeah, human excreta, they're
Yeah.
cleaning human excreta.
Where does it go?
Where?
Where does it go? Once they pick it up and haul it, where do they haul it to?
ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ತಗೊಂಡ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಎತ್ತಾರಲ್ವಾ ಎತ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ತಗೊಂಡ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ
There is no proper place. They will collect, they will clean the septic tank and they will remove the excreta and they will take and go and throw it in some very empty places. Where they can find empty places, they will throw it there. There is no actually proper place for removing that, throwing that.
It sounds a lot like Mexico City. Mexico City is up in the valley, surrounded by mountains, and there is no proper sewage treatment facility in Mexico City. But they pump it all to this dry lake bed. They have sewers, they have flush toilets, they have all that, but they pump it all to this dry lake bed about 40 miles further up the valley where it dries out because it's high up and it's hot. And every time the wind blows from the north, all that human waste dust blows all over Mexico City. And it can't be any different than India, really. And there's huge health problems in Mexico City from that. And shoot.
So do you know what happens here? Like, what happens to the waste in the US?
Sure.
Where does it go?
Okay. How long an answer do you want?
It's fine. We are we have time.
Okay. Traditionally, once they first started to dig sewers back in the Middle Ages, everything just went out to the river or to a lake or to the ocean. And people started to get smart about that in the 1800s. London in particular, they were killing tens of thousands of people every year from cholera. Okay, they started to do some somewhat more advanced things, mostly ship it further out into the ocean or further out in the river, or further away somehow. Then they realized that it was actually possible to treat the sewage and remove the health issues associated with it. And there are 3 levels of sewage treatment in the United States in all municipalities, and all municipalities are going to class 3, if I remember right. I can't remember if it's 1, 2, 3 or 3, 2, 1. But the first layer of sewage treatment is all the waste that gets flushed down the toilet goes off to a sewage treatment facility where the solids are separated from the liquids. The liquid is treated with chlorine, and the bacteria in it are killed that way. And the solids are sort of settled for a little bit, and then they're taken out and dried up some, and then dumped out in the field or something. And there aren't any that's a class 1 sewage treatment facility, or class 3, whichever. And there aren't any of those anymore in the United States. That's characteristic of sewage treatment facilities in the United States up till about the 1940s, something like that. In the earlier than that, though, they started coming up with secondary treatment. That's called primary treatment. The secondary treatment is where after you pull off the water and treat it, you've got these solids. And if you keep the solids in the right level of aqueous suspension and you bubble air or oxygen through it, bacteria go to work and break the solids down into a product that is not toxic, and it also kills an awful lot of bacteria. It doesn't kill all, but it does a pretty good job. And those solids are a very useful fertilizer in agriculture, and it's a safe fertilizer. You use straight human waste as a fertilizer in the fields, you're going to be coating the plants with, particularly like your leafy plants, greens, with all sorts of pathogenic bacteria that will get you sick. Okay, now the big breakthrough started to hit in the 60s, and it's called tertiary treatment. And after you have the primary treatment, where you separate out liquids from solids, you have a secondary treatment. You oxygenate and have bacteria.
Eradication.
Yeah. And then the third stage of tertiary treatment is where the solids go into an anaerobic container and another set of bacteria go to work. And the product that comes out of a tertiary treatment facility is safe enough for people to eat. It's that clean. And it's used extensively in agriculture. It's a very valuable product, although there are problems with using treated human sewage in agriculture nowadays, depending on what city you're in, on account of industrial waste, particularly heavy metals that can get into the sewage treatment facility. Or there's some other interesting stuff that's showing up that causes problems, medicines, for one. A lot of medicines don't break down through sewage treatment. If everybody's on Prozac, then you're going to get Prozac in sewage. It's crazy. But if you ever fly into Boston, there's big honking concrete eggs that are like 8 stories tall and island in the middle of the harbor. And that was the sewage treatment, tertiary sewage treatment facility that was built for Boston. It cost a couple $2 billion to build it. It was a very expensive project because the big issue facing most municipalities in the United States, and I think it's true throughout the world, is that it used to be that the sewage treatment was combined with the storm sewer. Your rain runoff has to go somewhere too. You build up an urban area and pave everything over. You've got water that has to go somewhere when it rains, or else you'll have localized small floods. So the bright idea was to just dump all that water in the sewage facilities, and that way everything flushes further away because there's all that extra flush that goes on. And that was the all American cities that were built prior to 1900 did that, and some did it later. In fact, that was done here recently in Austin in the 1980s at the Rich People's subdivision on the State End Street, where they deliberately made their sewage system to do that because they were a bunch of cheap, sorry motherfuckers. And they destroyed Onion Creek, which used to be a really nice creek. So that's another big issue facing municipalities throughout this country and throughout the world, is you got to separate out the storm sewer from the sanitary sewer. Sewage systems are hellishly expensive because there's an awful lot of digging that has to be done and an awful lot of infrastructure that goes in. And additionally, sewage all has to be pumped because you can't build everything, all the houses on the hill and the sewage treatment facilities on the bottom of the hill. Something like 15% of all electricity in the city of Austin, or 20% of all electricity that's burned in the city of Austin, is used to pump sewage and water. There's a huge energy cost for sewage and water that people aren't aware of. What else do you want to know?
No, that was good.
That was good. Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Just I didn't get what is
So
STB plant. About STB plant is that.
ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಅವರು. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಂಚಿನ ಕಾಲದಿಂದ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಸುವೇಜ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಆಗಿ ಬಂತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಸೊ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಂಚೆ 1800s ಇಂದ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು ಟಿಲ್ 1940 ಹೆಂಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸುವೇಜ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಫ್ಲಶ್ ಆಗತ್ತಲ್ವಾ, ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಟರ್ ಕಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸಾಲಿಡ್ ಕಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅದು ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇತ್ತು. ಸೊ ವಾಟರ್ ಕಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಿಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಸಾಲಿಡ್ ಕಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಹಂಗೆ ಇನ್ನು ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇರ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಸೊ ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಸೆಕೆಂಡರಿ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಸೊ ಸೆಕೆಂಡರಿ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಸಾಲಿಡ್ಗೆ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದೇನೋ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಲಿಡ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಡೌನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾ ಎಲ್ಲ ತೆಗೆಯಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಸೊ ಆ ಸಾಲಿಡ್ಸ್ ಇರತ್ತಲ್ವಾ ಅದನ್ನ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಂಗ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾ ಸೇಫ್, ಸೊ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸರ್ಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಪ್ಯಾಥೋಜನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇರಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಆಯ್ತು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಈಗ ಟರ್ಷರಿ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಅದು ಸಾಲಿಡ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಏನೋ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಐ ಮಿಸ್ಡ್ ಔಟ್, ಸಮನ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸೇ. ಟರ್ಷರಿ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅದು ಇನ್ನೂ ಸೇಫ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಸೊ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸರ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಎಷ್ಟು ಸೇಫ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅದನ್ನ there is no medically it is completely safe.
Tertiary treatment kills viruses as well. Secondary treatment does not kill viruses.
So tertiary treatment ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವೈರಸ್ಗಳು ಸತ್ತೋದ್ರು, ಬರೀ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾ ಅಲ್ಲ, ವೈರಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಸಾಯಿಸಂಗಾಯ್ತು. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಮೆಡಿಕಲಿ ಸೇಫ್ ತರ ಆಯ್ತು. ಸೊ ಹಂಗೆ
ಇವಾಗಲೂ ಅದು ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ.
ಸೊ ಈಗ ಆ ತರ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಫಾಲೋ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸೂವೇಜ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ವಾಟರ್ ಫ್ಲೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್, ಅವಾಗ ಮಳೆಗೆಲ್ಲ ಜೋರಾದ್ರೆ ಫ್ಲಡ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದೇ ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇನ್ಫ್ರಾಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಅದು ಬಿಲ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ, ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ವಾಟರ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬಾ ಫ್ಲಶ್ ಆಗಿರೋ ವಾಟರ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬಾ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಫ್ರಮ್ ರೈನ್ ವಾಟರ್, ಫ್ಲಡ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಆ ತರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅದರಿಂದನೂ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ.
So like I have a follow-up question. So like how much do you think is it feasible to like build the infrastructure for like,
how much?
Like to build the infrastructure for like proper sewage system, especially in Karnataka. Like how much has like so what is the scope of it, and how much has like the government taken attention towards that?
No, government have taken a decision for creating infrastructure, but it is very small amount of area have constructed. For example, if you take Bangalore city, Bangalore is a metro city. If you take a Bangalore, 98 wards are there, 98 wards areas. Among 98 wards, around 98 to 100 wards only UGD connection is there. Rest of the wards there is no UGD connection. The households are creating their own soap pits. If it is, this is the metro city situation. If you see the semi-urban area and rural area, completely there is no infrastructure. The local municipality have the responsibility to build the infrastructure. So still now it's not happening.
Yeah, related to that, so you said dry toilets, right? So there are dry toilets, and that's where manage can be taken. So can't we use say Swachh Bharat or something? Government has funds for this, right? Can't we say that they should replace these dry toilets at least with?
That's our demand also actually. That's we are talking with the.
So Swachh Bharat also has some funds allocated for this.
There are many more crores rupees are there. We are also talking about not only taking photos to sweeping on the clean streets. We are asking we can to demolish the dry toilet and make a flush out toilet. That is one. And where you are going to construct in the toilets in the rural area, already they don't have water and power actually. Water is the main important component for the sanitation actually. There is no water, you are constructing low cost toilets. It's not going to use it. After some days they will lock and they will keep some other items and they will lock the toilet. Again they will go to the street. This is happening. Why can't you create proper sanitation infrastructure for the rural and urban, especially semi-urban areas? This is not there in Swachh Bharat program. So we are also asking same question for the Swachh Bharat. Yeah,
I think in Austin, Texas, the infrastructure cost for water and sewer per house, new construction is something like $15,000 to $20,000. It's serious money. The low-cost alternative to sewage is the biocomposting toilet, which there's numerous designs of them, and they work reasonably well. Some of them work quite well, wherein you basically have a closet that has a toilet in it that has organic material in it that is ventilated properly, and over time the bacteria, the appropriate bacteria, digest the human waste and turn everything into fertilizer.
That practice is followed in Leh Ladakh in India. In Ladakh, I stayed for a few days in a village, and they had the system. They have toilets at a good height, and it is dug very deep. So it goes down there, and they put some soil and something, and it remains.
Not the same. That's a cesspit.
Okay.
Cesspits have problems because the human waste leaches out into the groundwater unless you have the cesspit totally sealed, which is what I saw here in the movies, is that they were making the cesspits stone or.
Yeah.
I think they had it properly constructed, not like it will just leak.
No. If you have the cesspit in a stone sort of thing, you will not have the proper bacteria because it requires ventilation for those bacteria.
Providing ventilation, so that you can have pipe which goes down.
You generally also have to have a fan for most of the biocompostable toilets that I've seen, at least some of the time. And you also have to toss in additional organic material for the bacteria to work. I'm not that versed on biocomposting toilets, but what you're describing is most likely a cesspit, and cesspits were real common, and they were real common in urban areas throughout the West till very recently. There's a video that I saw of the Small Faces musical group that was shot in '68 that showed this band playing in a British industrial town that was being demolished. The old industrial residential housing was being demolished. And every single house none of those houses back then, and these houses were inhabited until like 5 years earlier, until the 1960s, early 1960s. Every one of those houses had a cesspit in the backyard rather than a flush toilet. And it was that common in working class England till that time frame. The United States cleared up a whole lot earlier than that for urban areas, but rural still used a lot of gross and unsanitary things. The usual rural thing is a septic tank wherein everything gets flushed into a concrete lined vault that has a series of feeder lines going out into the soil around it, and there's a settling out between the liquids and the solids. The liquids, and there's digestion that goes on in the tank, and the liquids are spread out over a wide area in soil at the right depth, because the bacteria in soil do an excellent job of killing and digesting the pathogenic bacteria in human waste. And the drawback to septic tanks is that every so many years, 10 or 20 years depending, you have to take the lid off that septic tank and dig it out and take the solids out and take them out and dump them in the field somewhere. That and the drainage areas have to be sized right, and they have to be in the right soil, and they have to be maintained, and those are all headaches. A sewage system is a lot easier way to do things than a septic tank. You don't want to be on a septic tank if you can help it. A biocomposting toilet is, in my estimation, a better bet for a lot of people than a septic tank. And there's also septic tank problems that you don't have to worry about here or in India, one that gets really cold up north. Any questions?
Yeah, that's an interesting proposition. So I worked on a similar project before, but the challenge there is when there is a liquid waste added to the septic tank or the composter, so that disturbs the whole process.
Exactly, you have to have the right ratio of liquids to solids going into a biocomposting toilet.
Right.
You can't use a toilet for anything other than human waste, and if you try and put any sort of kitchen water or anything in it,
it's completely destroyed. So that's the challenge where we have in India. So that's why there is a professor at IIT Delhi. So he was working on a project similar to what you're mentioning. So there he had a process where you can separate liquid waste and solid waste. So that way it is easier to digest. So once it is digested, so it's a very good fertilizer for agriculture, because obviously it is rich in nitrogen and phosphorus. So,
well, that and the water, if you separate most of your household water usage is water that's called gray water, and it's very usable as it is, provided there are not food particles in it. or dumping that onto your garden or lawn. There's nothing as far as the soap or the small amounts of grease from dishes that are going to cause you problems, causes you problems with food particles, with gray water. Yeah.
So, in my apartment, we have in Austin, I'm living in downtown Austin, we have to pay the sewer-based allocation charges to the Austin.
Yeah.
To the city. What about people who are staying far away? I think
we do pay charges. Some, I don't know, there are like 4 or 5 components. Wastewater treatment.
There's all sorts of bullshit charges the city sticks on bills, and they just are a bunch of window dressing because they need to raise a certain amount of money for municipal operations. So they bust one big tax into 5 or 6 smaller ones and put 5 or 6 different big names on them to keep you good and confused.
Yeah, so I don't understand. Some cleaning charge, some sewage charge, some wastewater charge.
It's all bullshit.
So, they use this money to do all the treatment. So I understand in Austin downtown there is this plant with using this money. But what about people who are staying in urban places where there are no roads even, or there is no much?
Well, if you're outside of Austin city limits, unless you're living in a subdivision that has special arrangements with the city of Austin, you're going to either set up your own sewage treatment and water treatment facilities, called municipal utility districts generally, and those are not cheap, or you tie into the city of Austin, you pay money. And if you're too far away from the city, you're going to be on a well and on a septic. There's just no getting around that. Everybody who lives out in the country here in the United States is on a well and septic. And that makes it important to protect groundwater because it's what people drink. Most of the drinking water, all the drinking water in rural America, almost all of it, a large part of urban drinking water is groundwater.
So the septic tank problem is still there in India. It's not that it's not.
Well, septics work fine if they're maintained, if you keep up with them. But people are not that good at maintenance, particularly Americans. I think nowadays do not understand the importance of regular maintenance. So septic tanks require you to pay some attention, to have the things operating, and look for certain telltale problems. And when you see those problems, you get a repair crew on it, or you fix it yourself right away.
So I think we should take more questions.
Yeah. So actually, so from there, in cities in India, there are sewage treatment plants, right? And the main problem of scavenging is in rural, because
rural and urban both.
It's both in urban. Both.
So how does the municipality takes care of the sewage in the urban part, at least, right? There's municipality.
Someplace.
And the municipality employs people for scavenging work to maintain the sewage system.
No, this is one key. Municipality is not recruiters in the name of scavenger, because the scavenging name itself is a banned actually.
Yeah.
From 93 onwards, 74 onwards, it is legally it is banned actually.
Safai Karmachari.
They will call it Safai Karmachari, sweeper. In Karnataka we call it Pora Karmika, like that. It is also recruited outsourcing. Municipalities are not. I shared, they are not, according to the act, they are supposed to register the municipality as a scavenger. This is the system actually, the practice. So they are not registering as a scavenger because they are saying we have not appointed any scavengers. But people are engaging every day, cleaning dry latrines, cleaning open defecations, cleaning open drainages. This is happening, illegal thing actually happening. So no one bureaucrats have not ready to take responsibility on that actually.
So is it because there is no alternative system? Because this is a job and some people are employed to do the job. If we ban that job, something else has to take over their job, probably modern technology, a system or something, right? It's because we don't have that alternative technology that it's being done illegally.
Yeah,
people are
that is
employed.
also one reason. I'm not going to say there is no technology actually. There is technology is there. People are not ready to adapt that. That is the Indian.
Any place the technology has been adopted, which can be shown as a case study. These places have the technology and there's no matter.
No, see, you told no Dhaka, somewhere you went. Ladakh.
Yeah.
Ladakh is there, some good system is there. Bangladesh, very small country, we neighbor of India, there is a good system. They are also doing as Sir told, there is the water will go on another side, the solid extractor will go on another side, they will make fertilizers. All those things, there it is there actually. Some of the people came Delhi, they have shared about all over the Bangladesh, the system is there. In Nepal, Nepal, Sri Lanka, it was there like that.
Okay.
Only India, there is no such system actually. India, if you take Calcutta, Bombay, Delhi, Bangalore, Chennai, these metro cities, there is a UGD system is there, underground drainage system is there, but limit area is there. But area is extended, lot of area, very rapidly extended actually. This is there. But especially in the rural area and suburban areas, there is no completely system.
So I have a sort of just to add to it. I don't think that, I mean, it's really not really a technological issue. I think it's a more social issue. I think
both. I think I say
somehow these people are like, are either we are like blind to them, or there is somehow it is justified in the mind that they are like this, and so I think there is a kind of a blindness.
I agree, it's a big social issue, no doubts about it.
But what I'm saying is that even if you introduce the technology, right, I don't think it's really going to be adapted. And there's one more point I want to make, and this is a question to you. I think that it's possible that a lot of times the reason why the manual scavengers are not empowered is because the dominant castes, they are trying to keep them in that job so that they can express their dominance, right? So I think they want to sort of ensure that they continue.
And it saves them a lot of money because systems cost a lot of money.
Yes,
There's going to be a lot of tax dollars.
One can build an industry on it.
Yeah, actually, my question was going to be on that. So, say, replacing this dry toilets with flushable toilets, right? So, is it a costly thing and there are no funds for it, or is there funds for it and they're not?
Actually, it is not much costly. As of I know, this is not much costly because government of India is spending a lot of money for other sectors. They are spending very little amount for this aspect. For example, if it is, there are now crores of rupees is there, but that money was not allocated for creating infrastructure. That money was allocated for other purpose actually. So this is not a money part actually. Okay, if you think it is a money part, after 69 years of the independence, we want to wait for that actually. We have several money we have wasted actually. This is not money thing actually. This is the bureaucrats mentality and politicians mentality and the dominant communities mentality that is there. The people who are doing anyway they will do. Why should we bother about that? Like this thing is there. Social issue actually. The government want to eradicate immediately. See, they brought 1993. They brought legislation. The legislation name itself is abolition of the constructing toilet. But today, lakhs of toilets are there constructed.
So why is that mentality not there in Sri Lanka and Bangladesh? Because 50 years ago, Bangladesh was part of the same society as India, right? So how were they able to get rid of that mentality? And why is it?
I came to know that there is a Muslim marginalized communities are there. Some of the communities are there. They are not willing to do this occupation. That is one thing. That is refused completely. This is one thing. And government also plan to do some proper infrastructure for this. They have considered this is one of the biggest issue for the general community. So that's why they have constructed eco toilets actually. There is also not like US proper drainage system. They have each individual houses and plots. They have made a eco toilet system. The 6 month, I saw that toilet actually. That is a one toilet functioning 6 months, one toilet functioning 6 months. One toilet 6 months, they will leave it like that only. They will going to dry all water and other things. It is going to convert it to the fertilizer. By the time they are using this toilet, then they will change this toilet. Like that, some practice they have brought. That's what the problem is not much there actually. Here, Can we able to see like that system anywhere in India? You cannot able to see it. There is a system little bit in Gujarat actually. That is also some non-governmental NGO organizations have brought that. They have shown that method to the government of Gujarat, but they are not. So that's what my experience saying this is not a money thing, this is not technology thing, this is social thing. To come forward to do that.
It has to be prioritized.
Prioritize that.
Right. To do this.
Yes.
Yeah. First of all, I'd like to congratulate for your work. I think the education part and the awareness part, I think that is the key, especially not just in the community, but also outside of the community, so that people are aware. I agree with some of the concerns here that technology, getting the technology and implementing in a country like India, where there is a political establishment problem, there is inertia problem, and all those things. But I think one of the interesting things that there was the infrastructure that was provided to the people who are working, because you've seen people dying, just trying to get into the holes, and and then I see the problem is two business users social issue. The other is basically the inertia issue from the government, from the NGOs to do it, right? But in terms of your organization, I think what you can do is providing some kind of guidance, because this cannot be simply eliminated.
Yeah.
So guidance and providing them with some kind of equipment, basic equipment, like basic some kind of clothing or some kind of tools or some kind of other stuff, so that there is protection when they're going in and they don't die just getting into that system. That kind of small changes, I think, at least we as a
in 2013 Act and 1993 Act, special provisions have provided according to the Act. Also 2014 Supreme Court also given a historic judgment on that actually about the safety equipment. They supposed to use 32 types of safety equipments while cleaning the manhole actually. Who are assigning, actually assigning is illegal actually. If the government notified any area, it is the place for man have to go inside and clean the manhole. If they consider and if they notified, they have to provide 32 types of equipment, including oxygen cylinder, and also 10 lakh rupees of the life insurance for that person. They have to do like that actually. That is the official mandate. This is what happening, the manhole death. This is all the municipality level happen. Private house people have taken them. They made them to enter in the manhole. They have not provided any single equipment. And also some of the sewage workers who are working in the water and sewage board, they are also made them to go inside the clean that. They are also not provided any safety equipment, even single equipment. This is completely negligency. This is happened. Actually, that is there. Even the name of the equipments also there. 32 equipments are there to provide, including gum, boots, oxygen cylinder. Everything is there actually. All municipalities should have that, all the things. But again, I'm saying, unfortunate, municipality bureaucrats are not ready to keep all these equipments.
So what about like the mental state of these manual scavengers? Like what is from your experience? Have they like resigned to their fate that this is what they are supposed to do, or are they in a state of revolt and like they want a protesting kind of a mental state? Like what I meant to say, like you showed one of the slides where some people poured excrete over themselves and that event got attention. Is that like an isolated kind of event, or is that a general?
No, in India, from the beginning, there are only few organizations that have worked on this issue actually. One is the Safai Karmachari Andolan there in Delhi. They have worked on this issue because the leaders belong to Safai Karmachari community. After that, we are working on that issue completely. We are also belong to same community. That's what. Here, the people who are the Safai Karmacharis are there. They are not able to. They don't know what they want to do actually. But inside, we have done a lot of interviews, we have done a lot of documents. People are not ready to do that actually, that occupation. Completely, they are not ready to do. Unfortunately, because of their livelihood, because of their daily bread, they're supposed to go for that work. If government or any organizations or any individuals any establishment can provide small occupations for them according to their education and their skills, definitely they will go for that work. They won't come for this work actually. This is the one aspect. Another aspect is there, that is some people who are there, long back they have engaged in that occupation. Long back, 30 years, 35 years, 40 years. And they are also old aged. Their health also completely destroyed actually. For them, you're not able to eradicate them. They have to survive with that only. That's what we did from our organization in small area. We have segregated 3 parts: children's, youth, and elders. For elders who are there, we are fighting with the local municipality and the state government to provide proper safety, security, entitlements for them, life security. For example, the old age pension, because they are not illegal, they are not legal workers. They cannot get any social security after their retirement or the age after. So we provided old age pension. We have provided house for them. We provided a voter ID card, Aadhaar ID card, bank account. Several social security items we have provided them. That is one thing. And we have motivated them to don't do that work actually. But not once, several meetings, several one-to-one discussions we have met. So now, actually 2009 and 10, we have identified 1,851 scavengers in our area. So after 4.5 years now, 600 people have left out completed that work. They have engaged in other activities like selling banana, selling vegetables, selling some other materials, small entrepreneurship with capital amount of 10,000, 12,000, that. So they have chosen that their separate occupation section. So this is happened.
So quick question, follow-up question. So do some of these groups people have land?
These people, rural people, they don't have land. Some people have a 1 acre, half acre land, but is that completely dry land? Its land belongs, depend on the rainwater. In our area, rain is very rare coming, and it is coming in irregular time. So that's why they cannot be able to do cultivation. So they have kept land simply, and they have migrated towns and they have engaged in this occupation. This is happening.
Government has done a lot of reservation in jobs for the backward community. There are like many levels of reservation. So how much do you think the reservations have helped? Because there should be a good number of jobs. And as you mentioned, the number of people entering into the scavenging jobs have actually increased. So has the reservation not helped, or it's only a small part, or?
No, reservation is helped actually. I'm not ready to tell reservation is not helped, but it is helped for some people, not scavengers. Because scavengers community is completely downtrodden community. They don't know any information about the reservation actually. This India reservation policy from 1956 onwards, after the constitution implemented onwards, it is many people have used the reservation. In India, there are different types of areas are there, especially backward areas, especially downtrodden areas, dry areas, where the Dalits are majority living areas. The reservation have not implemented properly. One thing. Second thing, reservation, Dalit reservation. This is one today's very hot issue for the discussion actually. Dalit means not a one caste actually. Maybe you know, Dalit is a several socio-economical backward communities group. Among that, there are several castes. In Karnataka, if you take Karnataka, 101 caste is SC. 48 caste is ST. Among that, 1 or 2 communities have used reservation very well, who have got educational benefits long back from that for 30-40 years back. That family have used reservation. Who are staying in the rainy area, coastal area, they have little bright people. They can access the information, they can access to use the reservation. Especially the scavenging community, which have quoted some community caste names, these people are completely backward community. They have not got even 10% of the reservation last from 69 years.
Okay, so basically only certain people got, and they were fine, but not they were just not aware to even avail. So
there is not enough awareness
So doesn't your organization provide awareness regarding reservation that they can actually get some jobs and they can actually try for it?
That's what I showed in the video. Okay. We are focusing on education actually. Okay. Education is one of the key components for the development of the community. So our children have not got education properly because of the parents' poverty, parent situation. So now we are looking on the comprehensive education for our children and eradication of the dropout, school dropout, and completely stopping the engaging their parent job. Government of Karnataka and other governments of states are running government hostels and residential schools actually. Our community not able to access that facility. So now we are focusing on that. That's called Murarji Desai hostels. It is a residential hostel. They are teaching CBSE syllabus, English medium. They are providing food, shelter, everything. So we are accessing that. We are focusing on that to access our children. From last 3.5 years, 147 children have entered in that schools. Actually, this is the first time. From 3 years, we did a strong advocacy with the government. We have made a policy for the admission. Now, 10% seats reserved for the Safai Karmachari children without entrance exam. So, like this, we have done 147 children have admitted now up to this year. So, once the girl or boy entered in the residential hostel from 6th standard onwards, they will continue 12th standard up to. The government will provide everything, books, everything. They not need to bother anything actually. But of course, hostel conditions is very poor actually. Maintenance is very bad actually. Even the government facility, reservation facility, they're supposed to get. That's what. And after that, the youths who are there, Safai Karmachari youth, we are trying to make them motivation to don't go such occupation, unclean occupation. We would like to provide a skill development training and also the employment from private or government, wherever. So that program also going on. So last 2.5 years, 47 youths are joined. They left out Safai Karmachari job. They joined in Bangalore, Tumkur, here, there. Several small dignified work in the retail shop, selling banana, selling cloth, the sales boy, several like that. So we are working on that. The reservation is there actually, but reservation only problem this community have not received properly.
In respect of time, we just take 2 more questions.
Okay, has there been any effort in improving the money that is paid legally if the municipal wants to hire Safai Karmacharis, increasing the maybe benefits for them, like forcing them to increase the benefits as well? As in improving the conditions in which they are employed. And you said they are supposed to give 32 equipments and all of that. Is there some work trying to force them to actually legalize everything and make it on paper?
No, actually, there is a act was there, the 1970 Contract Abolition Regulation Act. Okay. It was there. Then Minimum Wage Act is there.
Yes.
Provident Fund Act is there. According to this act, who are Safai Karmachari as recruited under the municipality or outsourcing, they're supposed to get Karnataka government or any state government mandatory minimum wage.
Sure.
It is unskilled. They are retuning every year. In the April month, they are increasing their salary. That is one. And they have to get compulsory provident fund. That is one social security scheme. And they're supposed to get safety equipments. They're supposed to get health insurance.
Yeah.
Okay. And municipalities have rights to provide a house patta for them. This is all mandatories are there. One thing, unfortunately, they are not getting anything. They are not getting even today minimum wage. Actually. If you go and see the panchayat level Pora Karmikas who are sanitation workers, still today the age is 60, 50 years man or woman is getting 1,500 rupees salary per month. Highest is 3,300 rupees. So they are violating all the mandatories, all the laws actually.
Municipality based, do they have each municipality has the power to take whatever decision they want?
It is not like that actually. They don't have power to take like that such illegal actions and they have to follow the Municipal Administration Act actually. But unfortunately, they are not doing anything and nobody will not take any action actually, because these people are not organized people. There is no proper organized union. These people are not demanding according to the law actually. Because poor people, they are migrated from several places. So something is available, now they will take and they will stay in the slums and street. They will be like that only. That's what this problem was raised till now actually. But there is a mandatory there. The payment, everything is mandatory there. And one more thing I want to bring you, according to this 1970 Act, giving outsourcing is illegal actually, because this is the peripheral job, essential job. In India, any essential job, they cannot give the contract. They have to make a permanent source actually, even though they are giving contract.
So I have seen the other NGOs that you are collaborating probably. So what kind of engagement do you have? What kind of collaboration do you have, especially in terms of skill training and also education and other aspects? There are other NGOs that are in that space, working in Karnataka, Andhra, Tamil Nadu area. So do you work with them in terms of?
Yeah. We have collaborated at the South India level and national level networks also, and also we are focusing health intervention mainly, because we are organizing every 6 months once in a medical camp and referral system for the treatment. This is we are doing, and the old age people we are searching for the their own enterprises, small business, small entrepreneur life, that is. And youth, we are seeing that alternate skill development training and alternative employment. And for the children's, mainly focusing on the education. Education in the sense we are not running a schools actually, we are running a tuition centers, because our children are very difficult to learning English and mathematics and science. They are getting failed there only. Then only they are going to drop out. So that crucial time we are supporting them to how to read, how to write English, and how to solve their problem mathematics in hand. So we are running a classes on Saturday.
So that's your organization?
Yeah. Thamate. So special classes we are doing on Saturdays. We are requesting several farmer teachers from our community and other teachers also. So we are requesting them to come and make a teach 1 hour, 1.5 hours. So it is running on now. The people, the teachers are respectively, they are coming whenever they get time, volunteering there. They are coming and teaching our children. So from 4 years, the children's learning skills also improved now. So children are going regularly school. Some changes will happen now. So it is going on. At the same level, we are doing networking also across the South India and national level. I went to Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, Orissa, Rajasthan, Delhi, and Tamil Nadu, Andhra. There are all my friends are there who are all working on Safai Karmachari. We have formed a Scavengers Dignity Forum at the national level. So any right-based issues, any violation issues, all providing for solidarity and giving support for the issues.
Thank you for your questions.